Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, December 16th. Anybody who's going to be able to watch the Spider-Man movie today, I am jealous. I am in envy of you. I wish I was you. Unfortunately, I got to wait until tomorrow. I ask you one thing. Don't talk to me. Don't spoil it for anybody. Don't ruin it for anybody. Let's just keep this on the down low. I know that once you see it and once it blows your mind, if it does, you're going to want to tweet about it, talk to somebody about it. I just, you can do that. Just don't talk to me about it. Because I'm seeing it tomorrow night at like midnight. So I got to wait longer than you do. But yeah, today is the premiere. Technically, tonight it's a premiere. And tomorrow is opening night. And that's kind of been a bit of the buzz around, everything that you've been, that I've been watching, that, Tom Holland is doing interviews, he's doing press tours, he's on late night shows, he's on this, he's on that, and he's in the news this week, or maybe in this case last week, around the end of last week, I believe, but he's, this is actually something I think that I can stand and fight for, and well, it doesn't need to be a fight anyway. It's just, stand with this man because he made a great point a couple days ago, maybe a few days ago, that he doesn't care that he's 5'8" and that he's dating Zendaya, who's taller than him, and he doesn't care. And I have to say, sir, I agree with you. And he's a short king too, by the way. And so am I. I mean, I'm 5'11". Now, to some people, that could be short, and I'm going to consider that short. I am not super tall. I mean, I'm taller than maybe the average person. Obviously, the average height is maybe 5'8", 5'7", I think. So he's average. So he's not going to be he shouldn't be criticized for his height. Is all I'm saying. Leave the guy alone. Come on. I mean, what is this? Are we back in? I don't even know what the question was, but I feel like he had to defend himself with it. It was I think it was do you feel weird dating somebody who's taller than you? It's what are we back in? Elementary school? Are we back in high school? Where you get chatted up about your height and what you look like? Come on, honestly. If we're being really honest, at this point in our lives, and he's about maybe 25 now, I think, he doesn't need any of that. He seems like a pretty decent person, a pretty decent human being, pretty decent man, being respectful to pretty much everybody. I mean, you never hear any drama from Tom Holland, from any movie set or anything like that. And you can get that from his interviews too. He just seems like a genuine person. He just seems like he's, always fun to be around and a good time and fun to work with. And I just feel man, if I ever met Tom Holland, I wouldn't even say hey, Tom, can I get a picture? I'd just be what's up, dude? I like your movies. Or what's up, dude? How you doing? Because I feel if you ran up to a celebrity and you want to take a picture with them, or you want to get their autograph, or you want to get a video with them, or TikTok with them, or anything like that, it makes them not as interested in you in that moment, because it's you just want a picture, you don't want to connect, you don't want to say what's up, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, and I get it. It's because you want proof that you met that person, that person was there with you. Maybe you could lead off with, hey, how you doing? And then end, oh yeah, bro, can I get a picture with you? Just for fun. Maybe you can do it like that. But I would never be the person to walk up to a celebrity and be bro, let's take a picture. Or can I get a picture? I just feel I'm just not in tune with that type of interaction with a celebrity. I don't know. I just feel it's kind of silly. But I just imagine now that he's now being considered the king of the short kings. Or the king of the kings, the short kings, actually. The short king, we'll call him that. Even though he's not even short, really. He's average. He's going to be getting people saying yo, bro, respect, I'm short too. Fuck yeah, And bro, but he's average. He's not short. I mean, short's what would you consider short? 5'5", 5'4"? For a man, right? I mean, that's pretty short for a dude, I would say. 5'4", 5'3", 5'5", around there. 5'8" is average. I'm 5'11", and I feel I'm short. But I guess it's just how you feel, to other people. Like if your friends are all tall, let's just say that, and they're all like 6'3", 6'2", and you're 5'11", you're not short, but that illusion around you being with your friends is like, I am short. Like I'm the shortest one here. So it's like I feel short because I interact with you guys and I hang out with you guys, and it's like, man, I just wish I wasn't that short. But I just feel like, it doesn't matter anyway because he's an actor. And if you're in movies and you're short, on the shorter side, I guess you could say, then there's ways that they can shoot a movie or a show that you will just forget about that. Like I'm pretty sure like in the movies he's as tall or maybe even a little bit taller than Zendaya in the Spider-Man movies. I'm pretty sure because, movie magic and production and all that. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of silly for people to like be like, make this a headline when in fact it's like the dude's not even short, but I appreciate that he doesn't care about it. Like he can date a taller woman if he wants to. I mean, I think I would too, if I'm being honest with you. Like if I was, looking for a relationship with somebody and I really like this girl and she happened to be taller than me, I don't think I would care. I say that now, but if I see, I don't know, it's hard because it's like I want to be the taller one. But in the same time, it's like, if I like you, and I think you're a great person and all that, and I enjoy being with you, then eventually, I wouldn't care. Now, that's to say if like that person is the one for you, and if she's like meant for you. But if you don't get along with them and you're like, it's like maybe this isn't gonna work or whatever, you'll know immediately that's like, okay, we're done here. But if you truly find somebody that you like, and you love being with them, then that should not even matter at all. It should just be like, okay, whatever, you're taller. Let's go out to eat. Let's go to a bar. Let's go to a club, or let's go dance, or, whatever like that. So, and I'm not saying that maybe that's like a do or die for me. Now that I've gotten older and more wiser, I would say, it definitely feels like it's just more of a, it's not as important, and it's not as, it doesn't like make or break a relationship or, something like that. It just seems like more of like, okay, whatever, you see this, it's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'm glad that he took that stand. And was like, what, it doesn't matter because I'm dating Zendaya. I mean, if Zendaya is really that tall, like if she was taller than me and we liked each other and we were compatible, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I don't give a shit. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's so talented and everything. And then it's just like, it doesn't really matter. By the way, Zendaya has one name, right? Like, was she a singer before? Because I don't know many actors or actresses that just go by one name. That was always kind of bizarre to me. And like, she was just in Dune, in the Spider-Man movies, and in this new one coming out. She does that show Euphoria, but she just uses her one name. Is that even her actual real name? Or is that just like a stage name? I'm going to look it up right now because I'm not sure. I've always been curious because she's been in Disney Channel. She's been in, what is it? She's been in other movies. She's been in, obviously, Euphoria, Dune. Okay, her real name is Zendaya Marie Stomer Coleman. So she's got 4 names, but she just goes by Zendaya. That's cool. It's kind of like, who does that? I'm trying to think. Who goes by one single name? Well, I know you got a couple that go by their full name. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, he goes by full name. I don't know if that's his middle name or his a second last name. You have Samuel L. Jackson, pretty much, Samuel L. Jackson. Who else does that? I'm not really sure. But who goes by their first name? Just that. Well, J. Cole is an artist, but he goes by J. Cole. So I don't know what's his real name there. But it's pretty cool. But it fits her, though, I would say. Like, I couldn't see her being like Zendaya Coleman. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I mean, if she wanted to, she could. What about Zendaya Marie? Like, that could be cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Um, but Zendaya is such a unique name. It's like you don't even need anything to change. It's already so unique enough, and everybody knows you. So it's like, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. But what I was saying is like, I remember her on Disney Channel back when I dipped out because I guess I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just getting older, but I got so sick and tired of the newer age Disney back when. Shoot, I don't even remember when those shows came out. I was young though, but it was like they were getting rid of Zack and Cody. They were getting rid of That's So Raven. They were getting rid of Corey in the House, and they replaced it with like Good Luck Charlie, which I never watched, and what other show? Break It Out, something like that. I don't know, but like an old show with her. What's the Stitch? Maybe I don't know. What's the Snitch? I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. But she came in like these new shows. I'm like, just whatever. I'm out of here. But that was also when like they started like bringing in this new era of TV and like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and all that. And I was just like, I'm out of here. I'm done. Like once they took off Drake and Josh and Ned's Declassified off the air, and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, I mean, I was just like, I'm out of here because The Sweet Life on Deck never was my cup of tea. It just was like, this is cool, but I mean, they're now in high school and all that, but I just feel like it's so not like what I wanted to watch. It wasn't as silly or goofy or, it wasn't as fun as it used to be. It became more of a drama. And I was just like, whatever. I'm out of here. And as a kid, as a young kid, I'm like, I don't want drama. I just want silliness and jokes and stupid shit like that. That's why I like Ned's Declassified so much, because it was just jokes and humor, and there was some story in it. There was some love interest between Ned and Mose and Susie and all that, and I think Cookie was always the funniest guy ever. Like physically comedy, like that guy was just on par. You had Gordy, the janitor, custodian. He was there. Can you say janitor? I don't know if you can. But the custodian, Gordy, was there, and that was always fun to watch. He was the voice of Cosmo from The Fairly Odd Parents, which I did not know until like maybe a season into that show. I was like, this guy sounds way too familiar like Cosmo, Timmy's godfather. And I was just like, oh, same actor. Cool. But yeah, that was my jam back then. And then once they got the newer shit, I'm like, I'm out. Fuck it, whatever. And I got into, what did I get into? Let me think. What did I enjoy watching back then? Oh, I got into like George Lopez back then. I got into Everybody Loves Raymond. I got into Seinfeld. That not that young, but in the future I did. But those shows were more popular. I got into I watched a little bit of Full House, but that show was fucking stupid. Big Family Matters guy. I loved Urkel. I loved Carl Winslow. I loved that family. That show was awesome. Fresh Prince, that's what I got into. Those kind of shows. The throwback shows that were more of like a mature show, but I, got into them when I was very young. Or probably not as young as you would, but younger. Those were also very fun. But yeah, Tom Holland is he can say whatever he wants, man. If you think 5'8" is short, then we should just lower the average then. And we should just get rid of the average, because nobody's going to be like, well, 5'8" is actually like the average height. Maybe it's even more, I think. I think the average might be 5'7". But it's like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't know, it's so weird. I feel like when people see it, it's like, oh, she's taller. And it's like, okay, whatever. Just got to get on with it. Don't make it so like it's such a big glaring issue when it's really not. I mean, as long as they're happy, right? That's all that matters. But speaking of Spider-Man coming out, and by the way, it comes out tonight, premiere tomorrow. I'm seeing it tomorrow, by the way. I've decided to take no chances. No chances whatsoever, because I don't trust anything, anybody, anything when it comes to social media and this movie. So I have deleted every social media app that I have. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all gone since Tuesday. And I have to say, being a while in, I actually kind of like it. Not that I'm not, not just because I'm not seeing spoilers, because I'm pretty sure that they're already all out there. So I'm just like, not even going to try. But actually, when it's hindsight, and when you boil it down to, when I'm actually getting rid of social media, it's actually a really, really nice feeling. Like, because when I was using social media, and I'm just saying, like, I actually quit it. I'm probably going to get it all back after I see the movie. I have to for, to put out the review. Actually, now that I think about it, if you already seen my alert that the podcast is out on Twitter and Instagram, that's when I'm going to use it. That's when I've used it. Just to promote, though, not doing anything else, just going to, get on it, post it, and then get off. But in this time of me not having it and not using it, not like, having like wanting to see anything on it, it's actually been quite nice. I've noticed that it was kind of a big, not a crutch, but a big time waster that I would do, because whenever I would get up in the morning, I would check all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that, and then that would take a significant part of my time. Now, it might not be that much time, but after taking it out, I've realized that, oh my God. Just the time that you spend on social media is like, it's more than you probably think. Like, I use the bathroom quicker, I eat quicker, I do everything quicker. My morning routine quicker. Even if I just, I don't want to, like, it's just like, it's like a big gain of time, I think. And a big gain of just doing other things that you want to do and just not being on social media, because we always say that you want to go on there for like maybe a couple minutes or so, but it always ends up like sometimes being like for like maybe 10 to 15, just like looking at somebody's post. Oh, they tag somebody else in there. Oh, who's she or who are they? You click on their profile. You watch their stories. You dig a little bit deeper. Oh, who's that? Who are they? And then you go back to the Explore page, you scroll down, you see Hasbulla, you're like, oh shit, Hasbulla. And you see food, and then you see, sports stuff, athletes post, musicians post, all that shit. And it's just like, where did the time go? And it just fiddles away, and you're like, wow, I spend so much time on these platforms that I'm just like, it builds up. It builds up, and then you're like, wow, it's just like, there's so many other things that you can be doing when you're not on that. Like, I decided to, after everything I did, I just like, why don't I just like, I'm going to, eat a sandwich, eat some nuts, a banana, and it took me like 5 minutes. Not on social media, not on anything else, and just like just eating lunch. And I was just like, wow. Like, I really don't need this. And I haven't had any urge to want to check it because I deleted the apps. So I think that's a big part. If you delete the apps and they're not there and you don't see them, it really does. In my case, I haven't wanted to see anything on there. Like, I mean, like, it's not like I heavily interact with anybody on social media, right? I just kind of like browse it, just see what's happening. I don't get it. I don't really, tweet a whole lot. I don't post a whole lot. I don't do this or that. So in hindsight, or in my eyes, I'm just like, did I really need this? I mean, sure, it's fun. It's fun to see what's happening in the world and all that, and people's reaction, and to see things that your friends post, and maybe somebody you haven't seen in a while post, or a life update or whatever. But it's like, I don't think anybody really needs this. And being off it for the short period of time, I don't see myself like, I don't have any urges or like, oh, I need this. No, it's just like, hey, this is life, without it. And it's not bad. It's truly not bad. So now, maybe when I do get it back, am I going to go back to checking it all the time? Am I going to go back to, seeing, because I checked it a lot when I had it. I mean, a lot. I mean, too much. Like, it was like automatic. Whenever I just opened my phone, I would tap Twitter or tap Instagram after I just tapped on it like a minute ago. And then it's just like, oh, what's new? Oh, not much. Okay, see ya. It's like, I don't know. It's so weird because I totally feel like it's so beneficial and it can help you a lot. and it's fun to use, but you really, really don't need it. Especially in this case when I don't want to get spoiled. By the way, my friend Michael got spoiled. It's kind of funny, but it's like, bro, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know what's out. People seen it. I don't know what you're doing. They're like, you gotta take precautions, man. You better delete it now. If you're listening, you better delete it now because it's just gonna get worse. So I was like, Tuesday night, I'm done because the UK is gonna see it like right now. I'm not taking no fucking chances. I'm done. I'm not. And it's just been really nice to not have it. I guess that's my biggest point here, is that it's fun to use. Yes. It's fun to connect. Yes. It's fun to see what people are posting. Yes. But in reality, you're not really connecting with them, especially if you're not commenting or liking or, engaging, engagement with other people. It's just kind of like a time waster and like a way to give you ads. So it's like, oh shit. It's like, what is this even for now? It's like my mind has been expanded. It's been absolutely not shattered, but it's been broken in a way. Like, oh, I don't need this. I truly don't. It's really just like a time waster, if you think about it. Why would anybody want to be, just on their screen the entire day, draining their phone's battery, when you could be using it to text somebody or to call somebody? If I sound crazy, just give it a shot. Just delete the apps for a day or 2 days and tell me what you think. Because I truly want to know, because I've never done it. I never really thought for me that social media was ever a problem because, well, I just said I don't really engage with people on it, and I kind of just use it to browse. But even at that point, when you notice how much time you shave off using your phone, that you can be doing other things or just not being on it, it's crazy how much time you have. It's so weird. It's so wild. So I give it to you, the audience. Give it a shot. Just try it. Tell me what you think. Because it's just been a short period of time for me. Short period of time. But I can already tell that the time you can tell the time that you're wasting. Within a blink of an eye, you can. And it feels good to not be, I know it's like, you got to be like mature about it and not have so much social media time, but at the same time, it's so easy to just fall in and search shit and go on TikTok and watch shit and look at shit. And it's like, once you don't have the apps, I guarantee you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of freeing. I guarantee you. Try it. You might find yourself like, oh, do I really need this? Do I want this? You might, but you might not. That's up to you, though. So you should try it. Just to try it. Just to see what it's all about. Because we've been having social media in our lives since, like as easy access, in the phone, right? Because we've had it before, like smartphones and all that, before the iPhone came about, back in 2006 or 7, I believe. It was on your computer, like when you had like MySpace and Facebook back in the day, and then before that was email. So we've had it for a while, but we haven't really been so engulfed into it until maybe about around, 2006 was when the iPhone came out. I would say like maybe like around 2009 or 10, when it was really up in pretty much everywhere, right? We're in every phone, or more phones than ever back then. And then it's only just gotten even more progressively in phones, integrated with phones and technology and all that. So like it's been like for at least like 15 years maybe, where we have literally like social media embedded in our lives, like part of our lives on our phones and just in our pocket. You can check it whenever you want, and it's free. You don't gotta pay any money. You get some ads, but it's like it's for free. You sign up and it's for free. Do whatever you want on their guidelines, though. It's like, just try it. It might be an awakening for you. It kind of is for me, but just try it for yourself. it's going to be weird, but it might be a good weird. All right, moving on. I was going to talk about sports here. I'm getting into sports early because this is not football related. That's later. But Steph Curry recently just broke the 3-point shot record, previously owned by Ray Allen. And I wanted to talk about this because I think now, if you're a basketball fan, and if you're a fan of Steph Curry, or just a fan of basketball, the NBA in general, you pretty much have to unanimously admit, not just because he beat the record, but how he did it and how he played the game, that this guy is probably going to be the best shooter that we've ever seen. I mean, truly ever seen. I have never seen anybody who will skip a free layup and just pull up from behind the arc and shoot the ball like he does when there's nobody in the backfield, nobody on the other side of the court. I mean, this man has made three-pointers look so easy and flawless and just effortless, and just like there is no other person in this league right now who shoots the ball like that guy. Not even Ray Allen or Reggie Miller back in the day. Nobody has. So for him to beat it now, and he still has many more years to do it, or to tack on to that record. I mean, we're going to have to see like a second coming of this man, because this guy just clearly is like the best shooter I've ever seen, and I think of all time now. I think we can actually agree now that this man is the best shooter that anybody has ever seen. I mean, his athleticism, the way he shoots the ball, his confidence when he shoots the ball, just how many times he can nail a three with so little ease. It's just, it's crazy. It's truly crazy. And he's got 3 championships with the Warriors, so he's not a phony. In those years of him getting those 3 championships, he was leading with 3-pointers, and they're good again this year. They're like the best team in like the NBA right now. So it's like, this is just going to be an amazing year for Steph Curry and the Warriors, potentially. I mean, we truly have seen like the greatest shooter to ever live. And that's not saying like he's a great shooter. No. I mean, like, he's like the best one I've ever seen in my life. And I remember back in the day when Mark Jackson was talking about Klay Thompson and Steph Curry being the best backcourt in basketball, like, of all time. And they were like, really, Mark? Even with Reggie and even with Ray Allen still playing? Like, those are the best shooters? Like, yeah, bro. And I got to admit, at that time, I was like, this guy's insane. He just coached them. He's back in the booth. He's calling games now. He knows them. He's got to stick up for them. They're his guys. But now it's just like, dude, you were completely right. I mean, this dude, Steph Curry, truly is the best shooter that I've ever seen in my entire life. 1, because of his confidence. 2, he always looks like he's having so much fun on the court. Except when he gets heated or when he gets angry, but it's like he's just having so much fun. He's smiling all the time. He's jumping around. He looks still so athletic, still such in shape. And it's just like, you think like this guy can go on for like maybe 5 more years, maybe. I'm gonna look about how old he is, because I'm not sure how old he is. Because if he's not that old, then he's gonna be shooting for a much, much longer time. He's 33. I mean, this guy can definitely keep going. Definitely keep going. Why? Okay, it's saying that he was born in Akron, Ohio. Why is he never mentioned with LeBron ever? Like the kid from Akron. This is a different Akron, which I doubt. But I mean, all the props, all the glory to Steph Curry. I mean, this guy truly is like one of the better players and the better men in the NBA too, if you think about it. Such a nice guy, very inspiring to the younger audience, younger players, and he's not even that tall. He's like maybe like 6'3", I think, 6'4". Let me check that. He's 6'2". So anybody who's not like 6'8" or 6'9", they're gonna be like, I can just do what Steph Curry does, and I can just shoot the ball and be, very, give assists and help people out and do some layups, and I'll be good. I mean, Steph Curry's doing it. So it's like this dude brought in like a new age and a new style of play in the NBA. You don't got to be super tall to play well and be good and be on a good team. I mean, just like, Chris Paul, even before him, who was 6 foot. But it's like, with the way that the game is changing, being more 3-pointers and being less what do you call it? Less in the paint and less physical, I guess you could say. It's just gonna bring a bigger amount of people to the NBA and to just basketball in general. Like, this guy really has this much of an influence, and now that he's already beaten Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, it's like, jeez, man. I mean, when he shoots threes, it's like for fun. It's like for fun. It's like he doesn't even it's not even a part of his job. It's just like, oh yeah, swish. It's like, wow, this guy is so good. But yeah, just big congrats. I mean, he's a household name. I've been watching this guy since the past 3 finals. It's been with the Cavaliers and all that against LeBron. I mean, just the storylines and the moments that this guy created by shooting threes, and even in the regular season. And don't forget that too. That moment too, when he hugged Ray Allen, when he hugged Reggie Miller, when he hugged his dad, I was just like, wow, this is just a big, sweeping moment of NBA history and NBA greatness, truly. And like, I know that he looked up to Ray and to Reggie, and they were also great in their time. I didn't really watch Reggie because I was super young. I did watch Ray Allen back with the Celtics and the Heat, and not the Sounders though. But I watched him with Boston and forward. I was just like, this guy is amazing too. But still, nothing ever compared, to Steph Curry. Truly, I mean, like, you look back on it now, they're probably like, he's like the S tier. And then Ray Allen and Reggie Miller are like A tier. He's just so out of their league now. He really is. He's put the barrier between them. Like, he's already been doing that, the way he shoots the ball. But now when he's already broken the record at 33, still has like maybe at least 5 more years to play. At least 5 more years. And when he gets older, he's probably going to be shooting more, more threes, I would assume. So it's just going to be more opportunities and more time for him to cement himself with a record that probably would never be broken. Truly, I mean, like, you watch the NBA now. You watch college basketball. Nobody shoots the ball like Steph Curry does. Nobody even comes close. Klay Thompson, maybe. But that's about it, though. And it's just like, I don't really see anybody coming close to this guy. I mean, he's like the Messi of the NBA. I mean, in terms of 3-pointers. Just he has that touch that nobody has, and the accuracy that nobody has. Sure, he might lose a 3-point contest, but that doesn't matter. That's just for fun. This is when it matters, when you're playing the regular season games, the playoffs, the finals. That's when that matters. And it's just like a big tip of the hat to you, sir. Wardell Stephen Curry II, also known as Stephen Curry, or Steph Curry, or Steph, however you want to call him. He's a legend, and congratulations, man. You won't hear this, but you got a fan here of you. Moving on, though. I want to get to the NFL. Early. I'm so excited for the new Spider-Man, and since I've been off the internet for a while, kind of low on the topics this week. I mean, we could talk about Babe Ruth, but no, we won't do that. We could talk politics. No, I'm just kidding. We'll never do that. What about the pandemic? No, we'll never do that. Actually, we might here, actually. If you're playing fantasy still, and a lot of you might be, some might though, some might not. Not only do you have to worry about injuries and buys still, yes, buys, but now there's just a bit. The league is being hit bad with the coronavirus right now. It's not looking good. So that just is a reassuring that COVID's back, everybody. COVID is back and stronger than ever. Which, I mean, like, and if you're the person like, well, is it a real virus? Well, if you're a football fan and your entire team is getting put on the COVID list, it must be real, sir or madam. So like, there's your number right there. Look how many fucking players are getting COVID now. Yes, it's real. Shit. Moving on. I don't want to bring down the merriness of the show. Let's get to the week. Week 14 went by us. Not a whole lot of good games. A couple good ones. A lot of meaningful games, too. I mean, a lot of meaningful games for seeding and positioning for the end stretch toward the playoffs. I mean, we'll start in Minnesota. The Vikings beat the Steelers 36-28. Much more closer than we thought it would be. I mean, towards the end, if you watch the game, at the end of the first half, it was pretty much dead. I mean, it was literally like 23-0 at the end of the half. And then the Steelers scored 21 in the fourth quarter, and then they could have potentially won, but Chase Claypool decided to celebrate. I was just like, wait, what is this guy doing? It was like there's seconds remaining, right? This guy's got to get the ball back. And sure, okay, so the end play, they did the right play. They got it into Freiermuth's hand, but he just got the ball beaten down in the final play to tie the game. But it was just, they had to tie it and then get the 2-point conversion, but they probably would have done that if they scored. I assume that they would have. And the time was a factor because once you start celebrating, you take time down. You're not as quick with it. It's just not going to be as sharp. You're rushing things, and it's just like, you got to blame Claypool on that. Because that is such an immature move to do when you have little time left and you have to score a touchdown, and you're just going to do like the first down celebration like that. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Get the ball to Big Ben or somebody. Clock it or whatever. I think they got a first down that play. Just spike it real quick, and then just fucking try for the end zone. But it's just like, what are we doing here, bro? You're not a rookie no more. I think he's like maybe like a third year now, maybe a second year, but still, dude, like that was such a boneheaded move, immaturity through the roof. And granted, Freiermuth had the ball in his hand, but it got beaten down from some defender on the Vikings, which was actually a very good play. Perfectly thrown ball, by the way. The second half Big Ben, mainly fourth quarter Big Ben, was incredible. Incredible. First half, terrible. Fourth quarter, amazing Big Ben. Amazing. If only we can get more of fourth quarter Big Ben throughout the entire game. And then people would be like, oh, you can play another year. He can do it. He can do it again. It's like, but I don't trust that because when you're down like that, when the Steelers are down, they will play their ass off. But it's like, to start the game, they're just like, bad throws, bad routes, dropping passes, playing pitiful, bad defense. It's like, well, they also know TJ Watt, so their leader's not there. But it's just like, we need fourth quarter Big Ben all the time. All the time. But it's like, he's already 37, I think, maybe older. I don't know. 40, I think. I think he might be 40. It's like, dude, this is a tough task for us to ask you, but like, you got to play good the whole game. That way we don't got to come back and fucking try to win it and have Claypool fuck it up for us again. But a good game, a good Thursday night game. Entertaining. I agree with you. It was dead. It was very dead. I almost checked out, but I had to stay because it actually got better, and thank God I did. But again, Chase Claypool, man. I know this is last week, but get better, man. What are you doing? Moving on. Browns beat the Ravens 24-22. Lamar Jackson gets hurt. Tyler Huntley comes in, plays pretty well. 27 for 38, 270 yards and a touchdown. Just not enough. But also neither did the Browns, though. They did not play that well either. And I'm watching you, Browns. I'm watching you guys. Because although you have the talent, you have the coach, you haven't been able to assemble that talent and actually play great games. Like, you started out pretty hot. You had a lead at halftime. Pretty good lead. And then you lost it. Nearly lost it. To a non-Lamar Jackson-led Ravens team. And it's just like, what's the trouble here, boys? What's the trouble? Why are you having so much trouble with this guy? I mean, sure, he played pretty good, but it's a backup. You should be owning these guys, owning them. Like, it's just like, you need to play better. You need to play better. Moving on. Oh, I'm skipping that game. I'm going to save that for last. The Chiefs beat the Raiders 48-9. An absolute shit show. Shit show. I mean, the Chiefs didn't score like to the end of the first quarter for the first 7 points. Like, it was like towards the end, like maybe 3 minutes left. And then they celebrate, or they did like they hyped themselves up on the Chiefs logo. Why do they keep doing that? They did that like in another game prior to that, like maybe a couple years ago about that. That hasn't worked since then, people. You haven't beaten them since. I'm pretty sure these past 2 times that they've played each other, the Chiefs have scored like a total of maybe 80 or 90 points on the Raiders. Somebody can look that up, but I'm pretty sure it's over. I'm pretty sure it's like 90-something points, or maybe 80-something, but they've scored a ton of points on you. Meanwhile, you take the piss and score 9 in this game. It's like, what the fuck? Where is all this confidence coming from? Because it's not by you beating them, but it's all this stupid showing off for. You're not doing anything. You're doing nothing. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, it's like, what? What? I mean, like, sure, they're your rivals, but it's like you're not even good enough for it to be considered a rival because you're so bad. They're 6-7 now. That whole thing of playing for Rich Bisaccia is gone, clearly. He might stay the head coach. Who knows? I mean, who else would want to take that control? Take that, that helm? But also, the Raiders' defense, it seems to just be never, ever, ever good. No matter who they pick for their coordinator. Back in the day, they had Ken Norton Jr. Who was he from? He was from Seattle back in the day with the Legion of Boom, who was supposed to be good. He's back with Seattle now, and they suck. Clearly no talent. Who they have now? Gus Bradley. Who was he? He was in Seattle as well. He was also part of that defensive-minded team back then with the Legion of Boom. They suck even more now. So whatever it is, if it's either the culture or the players or however they look at these games or approach football, is just not working. And it doesn't help that they're also in Vegas as well, like an actual party city. Like maybe if you were in New England, like with Belichick, or somewhere cold, like Buffalo, where you can't do anything else but warm yourself up by just playing football. I gotta get warm. Where are we gonna go? Oh, we're gonna go to practice. Okay, that'll warm us up. Yeah, let's go. It's like you can't. It's hard to do well in a fun city. I mean, Miami's doing better, but they haven't been this good in forever. Because why? They fucking play in Miami. I'm surprised that the Rams are doing well. Or the Chargers. The Chargers are kind of like, but the Rams are doing better, and they live in LA. But again, nothing compares to Vegas. Maybe Miami, but Vegas is pretty out there. Vegas is pretty crazy. Probably the craziest city that's not by an ocean, Miami, South Beach. California, or Los Angeles, you got Santa Monica, the California coast right there. But Vegas, nothing tops Vegas. Moving on. It's just, but hold on. But, the Chiefs might be actually good now. The way they bust up the Raiders, the way they, their last couple games. I mean, it's hard to say that they're not good. They're putting up the points now. Although, I lost my fantasy league game. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Moving on. The Saints and the Jets. The Saints beat the Jets 30-9. Zach Wilson played bad. 19 for 42, 202 yards. Nothing else. Alvin Kamara is like their team. He is their team, man. I mean, he's like Adrian Peterson back with the Vikings. Like, he is their team. He is so good. He is so dynamic. He can play the running back and receive. He can do it all. And especially like when you have like, by the way, this was the Mormon battle between Zach Wilson and Taysom Hill. I just remember that. The Jets, I thought that they could have, pulled, been more competitive. But the Saints got back Alvin Kamara, who is absolutely a game changer, and I safely to say is their team right now. He's amazing. Whatever he does is just, it's always a positive, and it's great to see. Cowboys beat the Washington football team 27-20. This was closer than it needed to be. I mean, Dallas had a 24-0 lead at the half. They scored 3 more points in the third quarter. Nothing in the fourth. Meanwhile, Washington nearly came back and beat them. Now, that would have been nice to see. Being a non-Cowboys fan, being a fan of the league, but not a big Dallas Cowboy fan. Not at all. Not even close. Just saying. It would have been funny to see them lose. But at the end of the day, they had to win this. I mean, they're much more talented. They have better players. Not a better head coach. I would say Rivera is better than McCarthy. But I think anybody could see, their players are just better. I mean, they still have Taylor Heineke. Whatever happened to Ryan Fitzpatrick? He's got to be. If they haven't declared him done for the season, I'm not sure what they're waiting on, because this guy is done. Not to say that Taylor Heineke is going to be the starting quarterback moving forward, but it's what much more could you possibly do with Ryan Fitzpatrick? Nothing. You can't do anything more. But Dak Prescott didn't have the greatest game. He's been kind of shaky these last couple of games. I'm not going to lie. Last week, Thanksgiving, I'll say this, man. He started off pretty hot. He did. He had to prove himself that he was back, and he did. But now we're getting to the long stretch of the games, close to the end of the season, and he's just not been up to speed. He hasn't been as accurate. He hasn't been as efficient. He's been missing throws. He's been just not throwing the ball well. But neither has Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is just... Dallas might have made a big mistake paying this guy, man. Huge mistake, because this last game against the football team, 12 carries, 45 yards. I mean, you see more out of Tony Pollard than this man. And this man he's like, feed me, feed me, feed me. It's like, what are we feeding you? Cheerios? You can't even run the ball. What are we feeding you? Frosted Flakes? Gum? You can't even break through the wall. And he does the same thing every time he runs the ball. Feed me, feed me, feed me. It's like, we're not going to feed you if you can't do anything, bro. And it's like, they're not trying to be focused on Dak because he's not playing that well. But, you got CeeDee Lamb doing okay. 7 receptions, 61 yards. It just seems like they're running out of gas, it seems like. They're just running out of gas. So I feel like this team really is pressed for time. Meaning that if they don't shape up soon, or if I feel like if they don't get lucky with their schedule, and I don't know the next game, but if they don't get lucky somewhere, if they slip up, if they have to play like a Tennessee or New England, it might be curtains for them. It won't be curtains, but it'll be like, whoa, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Because they're still 9-4. They're 9-4. It's not terrible. A lot of teams would want that record, but it's like, I don't know. You seem kind of fraudulent there with that record. It's like, I don't think you deserve that. It's for somebody else, maybe a Patriots or some other team. But it's like, I'm watching you, Dallas, because I've seen the way you play. You've been getting away with it. You have been. You're lucky with the Raiders, or the Raiders got lucky when they beat you. No, sorry. Nobody got lucky there. You should have had that Raiders win, and you didn't. Those penalties got you. It was pretty rough out there. But I'm watching you guys because I don't fully trust you. There's something fishy going on in Dallas. They play in Arlington, but you get my point. The Falcons beat the Panthers 29-1, or 21, sorry. Cam Newton was in the game. He was out of the game. He was back in the game. And I think we can safely say that he's not back. He scored his first running touchdown. I'm back. I'm back. You're back to shit, bro. You're back to you are back. You are back. I mean, it wasn't as bad as last week when he went like, I don't know, 5 for something, I think. Maybe even less than that. He played terrible. 15 for 23, 178 yards, an interception. PJ Walker did pretty bad too, but he's not as gifted as you are, Cam Newton. You're still a freak of nature when it comes to athleticism. You still are. So, and I get it. He just came into a new system and a new coach and a new receiving core and everything like that. But it's like, I mean, this team, the Panthers, has had so many mood swings and so many swings in this season. With Sam Darnold, the first few games, they were high. They were 3-0. Sam Darnold might be the chosen one. He's actually pretty damn good. He's not terrible. Then you get the real Sam Darnold come out, and he just throws interception, seeing ghosts again. They bench him, bring back Cam Newton. Everybody's like, this is going to be a love story. It's going to be love. He's back. I'm back. Now what happens? He does this. He plays terrible. Doesn't run the ball well. Doesn't throw it well either. Misses throws, underthrows it. When you got a quarterback that is underthrowing balls, and by, all the time, and is not like 40, we got a problem here. He probably shouldn't be quarterback. I'm just going to say right now, he'd be a badass tight end. I don't know if he can play quarterback, though. And he used to be able to. He truly did. Back in 2015, he was lighting it up. He was playing well. Super Bowl bound. Once he lost that Super Bowl, man, never been the same. Never, ever been the same. And the getting older doesn't help. And when you lose to a team led by Matt Ryan and Arthur Smith, I just who also suck so bad. They're terrible. They're the worst. One of the worst teams I have ever seen, and their record shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is. When you lose to those guys, it's just like, I mean, you've hit the rock bottom then, because that team is so dysfunctional. They played all right. They played well enough to win. Matt Ryan was okay, under 200 yards, a touchdown, fine. Cordero Patterson was good, as he always is, another touchdown. That pisses me off so much because he doesn't throw it to anybody else. Like, why even have Kyle Pitts? Why? It's just like, that does nothing for their confidence. It does nothing for their contribution to the team. Like, what are you doing? It's all bad. It makes me so furious. But yeah, Cam Newton, I'm sorry, dude, but I think your quarterbacking days might be over after this season. It was cool to see you back, but the way that you've been playing, and I agree, you've been more mature about it. It doesn't seem like it's all about you now. You made the statements how it's all about the team, not about him. And it's like, oh, it's a good story that Cam Newton is back, and it is good. But if you're not showing it on the field and you're not showing it in the games, it's like, well, what are we doing here then? What was all this for? What was all the pomp and circumstance and all that for? Moving on. And the Seahawks beat the Texans 33-13. Didn't really watch this game, to be honest with you. Saw it on Red Zone a bit, but it was like, it was competitive in the first half. But then after that, the Houston Texans couldn't score a single point in the second quarter or second half, and they just kind of went downhill from there. So they ended up winning 33-13 and was just, kind of there. You almost forget that those teams are still playing on Sunday sometimes, because it's just like, you don't matter anymore. You definitely don't matter. And it's like, yeah, I'll be done with you. Not to be rude or mean. It's just kind of like where you are with the NFL now. Like, it's just some teams are just not going to attract your attention. It's not like it was back in week 1. Oh, I want to see the Seahawks. I want to see the Houston Texans. I want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I want to see every team. Now you can actually deal without seeing teams. Now, if you see some teams, they might make you sick to your stomach. Moving on. The Broncos beat the Lions 38-10. I mean, just an absolute gut punch there. I mean, Melvin Gordon, the third, went off, 24 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Really played well. The Lions never really made it competitive except for maybe in the second quarter. Then after that, they scored no more points and get blown out 38-10 by the Broncos. The Broncos are sneakily good. They're sneakingly good. Like, they're decent enough, but also been playing some pretty shitty teams that they should be beating, the Eagles and the Lions, which are pretty much should be automatic wins. But, they're making that push for the second seed in the AFC, or wild card, actually, because the Raiders are imploding. The Chargers are kind of, they're still 8-5, but they're not, like, completely invincible yet, I would say. But yeah, they're definitely going to be challenging for the Chargers in the future. I think that they will be. And yeah, the Lions still suck, but we'll get to more points on that later. The Chargers beat the New York Giants 37-21. In a good game for Justin Herbert. He played pretty well. Austin Eckler, though. Austin Eckler has not been playing very well for these past few weeks. He has not. And, I mean, maybe we hyped him up too much. Maybe we just, they're not playing their same style of football back then that they are now. It's just like, I feel like that he's just been more and more of a letdown in a way. He had a touchdown, yeah, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't like destroying teams like he did, but way back in the day. Or like maybe like week 4, week 3. He was just going off on people. Now he's kind of settled down and just been like, yeah, I'm here. But Justin Herbert, dude, played incredible. Had a very, very deep ball pass. I think it was like maybe 67 yards that he threw the ball. I was like, holy shit. Man, that's some like Josh Allen type of throw. That was incredible. He played well. The Giants still are playing pretty shitty. They're 4-9. They got a couple lucky wins here and there to just, be relevant, because they're the New York Giants. But, nothing really standing out for them to be, any good. I mean, Mike Glennon was there. He threw 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Again, we got to talk about this, guys. The Chargers can't stop the run. They truly can't. It's already been established. And if you have Saquon Barkley, 16 carries, 64 yards, no touchdowns. His longest run was 13 yards. Something's wrong here. Something is very, very wrong. Either that the Saquon experiment is done, or it's his O-line, or something else. Maybe he's too hesitant about injuries. Maybe he's scared. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I'm getting sick and tired of him being on that team. And people talking about that he's amazing, that he's incredible. He's a great running back, but he hasn't done anything. He's done nothing. He has a couple big burst plays, a couple big open gaps where he just chugs down the field and just sprints for his life, which is good. But he's no actually good back like Dalvin Cook or Alvin Kamara, or even if you want to go younger, like Josh Jacobs is actually pretty consistent. He's actually really good. But this guy just seems like he's so athletic and so fast and like just as good in the long strides or whatever you want to call it, strips of, I don't know, long strides. But he's like not very shifty. He doesn't really get in and out of defenders' ways. Doesn't shift around enough. He kind of just bulldozes and hopes for the best. And then if he does break through, it's like, boom, he's gone, hopefully. Hopefully he's gone. But that never really happens. Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, let me think of who's... Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sony Michel, even what I just said, Josh Jacobs. Just way better backs than he is. Maybe not Ezekiel Elliott, but I just feel like it's just he has no backbone to him when it comes to rushing the ball. And it's like, dude, we need you to be dominant. We drafted you this high because we thought that you would be dominant. Maybe they're not coaching him right. Maybe it's it could be like a Leonard Fournette thing where he's seems like a bust in his early years, but then he gets cut, goes to another team, gets scratched healthily, and then comes back and then plays better. I don't know. It could be that, but it just feels like this has been going on for too long. This whole experiment with Saquon Barkley, like, oh, he's going to be great. Or saying that he's great. It's like, no, he's not. He hasn't done anything great in the NFL. Nothing. Maybe he needs to stop hearing that. Maybe he'll be better that way. The 49ers beat the Bengals 26-23. It was a game of complications for the AFC North in terms of the Bengals. Joe Burrow played pretty well, but not when he needed to play well. He played decently, but he had just a couple of drives where they just didn't go the distance and make it all the way when they needed that. I mean, you need that when if you have truly a good quarterback, you should be able to drive down the field and, get that win for you. And, according to the 49ers, who actually won this game, who are 7-6, but actually are better than their record says, they're a big threat to my Rams. And I would not want them to win because I know that if we have to play them, when we play them again, that could be a loss because they play us well. They truly do. I don't know what it is, but they play us well. And, I really wanted them to lose this game, but, you can't win them all. Joe Mixon actually had a bad game, 18 carries, 58 yards. But George Kittle, man, this guy, once he's come back, man, he truly proves why he's like, he may be the best tight end in the NFL now. Because Kelsey's kind of been like, he's been good, but he hasn't been like Kittle level, up until now. But 51 yards, a touchdown with 13 receptions from Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, holy shit. But it was, anytime the 49ers win, it's just like, damn it. Moving on, the Buccaneers beat the Bills 33-27. This is a crazy game. This is crazy because the Buccaneers were winning handsomely at halftime. Handsomely, 24-3. The Bills look again dysfunctional and just not good. Then they come roaring back and score and tie it up. And then in overtime, you just get Tom Brady, just not even a big pass, but just like a side pass, or just like a really good pass, and just a guy breaking free and just running and winning the game. I mean, you just can't beat it. I mean, no matter how well you play, it's like that was just. I mean, it's great for the Bucs, but for the Bills now that they're 7-6 from what they were last year. It's like, damn, maybe that was just a one-time thing. Maybe that was just a fluke, right? Like, that had to have been just a fluke because that was such an amazing run last year, what they were able to do. Play the way that they did. Josh Allen coming out party, just playing amazing. He played well this game too, but it wasn't enough. But see, everybody on the Bills, the Bucs played well. Tom Brady was 31 for 46. 363 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette, 19 carries, 113 yards and 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin, 10 receptions and 105 yards. Like that, I mean, like, that's a well-oiled machine right there. Well-oiled. Just like all cylinders, all systems go, whatever. Like this team is fucking amazing. 10-3. They're now tied with the Packers and the. I think, just the Packers are the best record now in the NFL. Because of the, actually the Cardinals. My bad, the Cardinals. 10-3. Moving on. The Bears, not the Bears. The Packers beat the Bears 45-30. Sunday Night Football. Kind of more competitive than I thought it would be. The Bears actually scored a lot of points in the first half, but, couldn't, escape their fate, which was Aaron Rodgers, who scored 4 touchdowns, 341 yards, and 2 for 29 for 37 passing attempts. Fields, I mean, I'm looking at the ESPN box score right now, and it's not showing me a whole ton of stats. I mean, it was 18 for 33, 2 TDs, 1 interception, and pretty good rushing, actually. Let me see the rushing. Wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't, it's not like you want to win with that or lose with that, but, not terrible as well. Justin Fields had 74 rushing yards, 9 carries. Devontae Adams too, man. 10 receptions, 121 yards, and 2 TDs for Devontae Adams. Oh my gosh. This guy's incredible. The Packers are still one of the better teams. One of the best teams, actually. I mean, they did beat the Bears, who are 4-9. So, like, it's not like they beat, like, a meaningful team, but, like, they weren't, like, a meaningful team. But it was, it wasn't, there's no cakewalk in the NFL still. I mean, they had them on their toes during the first half and part of the third quarter, but it's like, you got to take what you can get, you know what I'm saying? Last game, or actually second to last game, the Rams beat the Cardinals 30-23. Thank you, Christ, that Matthew Stafford actually had a good game. Thank you, Christ, because I was so concerned about that last week and the week before that he was just not playing well. Is he injured? What's happening? He seems to be fine. He was throwing absolute bombs and dimes to Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. I was just like, this guy is back. He's playing incredible. I love this. I can't get enough of this. He was playing so well, and he had so much confidence and so much swagger against a pretty damn good defense in the Cardinals and a pretty good offense as well, that I was just like, this is amazing. This is what I always wanted. Those past couple weeks were so tragic and horrible that I was just like, what are we doing, man? How are we not doing this? Was he actually bad? His stats against good teams are not very good. So it's like, what is happening? But then he comes out with this performance. He plays well. He's poised. He makes good passes, good decisions. He went 23 for 30, 287 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's exactly what you want, Matthew. That's exactly what you need. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray had a couple interceptions in the red zone that he needed to have, that I think that he would have had, but I don't know what happened. He just didn't make the throws. But again, this guy, Kyler Murray, is so for real, guys. He is so for real. Like, not only is he fast and he can throw the ball, but he can create so much more. Like, there was like a time when he was just about to reach the line of scrimmage and go over, but he threw it just in time, a completed pass on the move, a great ball. He truly, like, he's still very, very young. He'll get better, but I'm like, this guy's going to go far in his career. Like, he's incredible to watch. Very level-headed, very concentrated on football, very, like, seems like a humble dude, too. And it's just like, wow, this guy can really, really go far. I mean, he had a good rushing day, too. He had 61 yards. I mean, come on. He can do it all. He is so much fun to watch, though. Like, just the way he moves. He's more of a scrambler, I would say. Because Lamar Jackson is more of a runner, and then he runs more. He can throw the big bomb pretty well, but a short pass is not, like, really his thing. But Kyler, he can do it all, and he can scramble, and he can run. He can do it all. Like, this guy is truly incredible to watch and fun to watch, too. Moving on. But yeah, thankfully we won. Thankfully we won because those couple weeks were pretty nerve-wracking. I'm honestly, because I was just like, is this gonna fail? Is Matthew Stafford gonna fail? What's happening here? I teased this earlier. We was going to talk about another game that I was going to skip and save for later, and I have to do it now because, I mean, just it's the perfect time. I mean, from previous episodes about this show, what I've been talking about when it comes to football in the NFL, and who I absolutely despise in the NFL. And he's back again. He's back. The bad man is back. Truly No. A man that you should never play for. Probably never again. Unless you're in college and you're forced to. And that's right. The Jaguars lose to the Titans 0-20. 0-20. The Titans, on the other hand, probably should have won by more, but they didn't. But this right here, this performance by the Jaguars, and seeing Urban Meyer, he's back again, seeing this man be an absolute mopey pants, sad bitch, ball of sadness on the field, on the sideline, when he went to go shake Mike Vrabel's hand. Mike Vrabel, Mike Vrabel was just like running to him, and he shook his hand. Urban Meyer didn't even look at him. And Mike Vrabel just passed by. I did nothing. And I was just like, okay. That was either the worst handshake I've ever seen, or that was the worst handshake I've ever seen. Like, because you, as a competitor, as somebody who plays the sport of football, or any sport really, you always shake the opposing team's hand after the game. After every single game, you do that. I don't care if you're rivals, you hate each other, you should always do that because it is sport. It is competition. And for him to just absolutely not even look at Mike Vrabel's face and just pass him by. I mean, it was just disrespectful. It looked like a face of a man who did not want to be there and wanted to leave and wanted to go home. Because if you think about this, Urban Meyer's year in Jacksonville has been pretty bad. And it's not just him looking bad, like himself. But it's rubbed off on the players as well. I mean, if you look at Trevor Lawrence this year, what he's had to deal with, playing on that team, being coached by Urban Meyer, and calling him their leader, and say that you, head coach, you got this, we're with you. Even if they even say that, which I don't even know if they do. This man will ruin Trevor Lawrence if he does not resign or just leave. Because, I mean, his last performance, Trevor Lawrence just went 24 for 40 and 4 interceptions. It almost seems unreal how bad this is. I mean, for one, this is a rookie quarterback, right? It's his first year in the league. He's a rookie. He's very, very new. He's not on a good team. The Jaguars were, bad from the start. They're not good. And you got a rookie coach who's had shaky and shady coaching decisions, who brought back Tebow, who fingered a woman. I don't even know if he's even married now. What's the situation with his wife? I mean, she must hate him. And reports of him being laughed at by other people of the staff, him threatening if any information gets out of what's happening in Jacksonville. He's saying that if you rat or if you are the source, you are going to be unemployed. So straight up like saying, like, if you are the one doing this, I'm going to fire you and you won't have a job. Like, there's been a meme created where Urban Meyer is literally Hitler. It's from a movie. It's like he's like, he's yelling and shit about, and like they just memed it with Urban Meyer. And it's like, well, I mean, it does seem a little bit like, I am the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am more than you. I am Urban Meyer. You don't know me, but I know you, and I'm better than you. And I'm no loser because I'm Urban Meyer. Do you see how many national championships I've won? I'm Urban Meyer. And it's all come down to, this week 14, them losing 20-0 and not shaking Vrabel's hand. I mean, like, I don't think that, like, and just him in the press conference, I think that there was like a question that went along the lines of like, you guys were getting your asses beat and everything like that, and like, what is there to focus on for next week, or how do you fix this? And I kid you not, I believe his response was, yeah. Like, he was just agreeing with the reporter that that's what was happening. I mean, just think of, this man is so lost and does not belong in the NFL. It's more clearer than ever before. Ever before. I mean, you were talking about the reports of him calling people's moms and dads like they were still in college. It's like, no, you can't really do that in the NFL, man. These guys are like 30, 31, 32, 30 to 35 years old. They don't give a shit what you say to their parents. Come on. What the hell is wrong with you? And it's just, it might, I don't see this man coming back next year. because this is not their first shutout, I think. Actually, no. This is their... Hold on. Never mind. But it's like you can't be getting shut out of this many games in the NFL. This far into the season. I mean, it's just like who are you playing for? Are you trying to get better? Are you trying to get worse? Like, who's fighting who? Is there an alliance? Is there like a coup going on? It's possible, but like, is there shit happening behind the curtain that we don't even know about? The staff laugh at him. He's arguing with Marvin Jones about even suiting up and playing because he's like, dude, and then he claims that never happened. It's like, I truly don't think that that's even believable now, because we as people can see when bullshit is arising and when it's happening. That's like our sixth sense. You can tell when somebody's bullshitting, when something's not working out with somebody else, when something's like you're not agreeing on stuff. You can easily tell that. You can easily tell it. The fact that how many times that you see that none of the players like hug Urban Meyer, shake his hand, pat him on the back, or be with him or support him when they win a game or when they lose a game, whatever it may be, you just tell that something is up. And it might not be lasting longer. Because I don't see him coming back. I truly don't. I think that it would be better for the Jaguars and for himself to get the fuck out. Because he's clearly over his head. Clearly, he can't even show sportsmanship to Mike Vrabel. It's like he's a little kid. It's like he's a child. And it's like, this is a middle-aged man. Even older than that. I think he's like maybe 60-something. Maybe 50, I'm not sure. But for him to be acting like that and showing absolutely no sportsmanship and just hating life, and like, I mean, I truly don't know if this guy could show his face back next season. He should honestly quit now. He won't, but he should. Because there's no way that he's waking up and saying, like, I get to go coach these guys on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I love it. There's no way he could say that. No way he thinks that. No way he's going to promote it like that. Man, it's like, it's time to go, bro. I think you've run your course here. I think you've let the poison, live for too long or be in the body of the I think you've been the Jaguars' poison for too long. You're potentially ruining Trevor Lawrence by every week that you're there. Every week that you're the head coach and that you don't play certain players because you want to play the players that you like Carlos Hyde, and not play the ones that are actually, playing well. Because you remember your Ohio State days with Carlos Hyde. I mean, who's he going to recruit next if he stays there? Braxton Miller, Cardell Jones, JT Barrett, like what? I truly am. I don't know what's happening. Nobody really knows what's happening besides Urban and the people in the organization. But I know it's not good, and it shouldn't be going on for this long. Truly. If they do, and even if they even do fire him, it's like, why didn't you do it earlier? When he fingered that one bitch in the bar. Or he clearly doesn't, want to be a part of this team, or doesn't shake Vrabel's hand. Or he fights with players and his staff members and does some stupid shit and like just doesn't care. He's always got his head in between his knees looking at the ground when he should be coaching. It's like, what was the first sign that he wasn't the guy? And why did it take you guys so long for him to be fired? That's the question that I want to know, but I think we'll never find out. We'll never know this story for real. It's going to be wrapped up because it's so shitty. It's so stupid. It's just hoping that there's a documentary out there one day. One day, Urban's 1 year, if it's actually 1 year that he coaches, or Urban's only year, or the 1 year with Urban, or one Meyer year, like one more year, but Meyer. That could be, that'd be actually interesting. I'm going to coin that, one Meyer year. That's just for me. Nobody take that. If you do, I'll be mad. But that's going to be it for today, people. That's going to be it for today for me. The last episode that you will hear from me that before me seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, that'll be a review next week for sure. Absolutely. Along with, I believe I can do a full Hawkeye series review that day too. I think that's next Wednesday is when it ends, so I'll review that as well. That'll be up next week. So, but in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you continue to share the podcast, continue to subscribe on YouTube and like on YouTube and share on YouTube and do all the good things and like the video, click the bell for the notifications because that's a thing now. And the podcast, again, favorite it, star it, rate it, review it. Again, that's Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva on everything, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And I just want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys back next week.